This story is a chilling reminder of how the quiet, snowy landscapes of winter can hide the darkest secrets. It's about the Dyatlov Pass incident, a true and unsolved mystery that has baffled investigators for over 60 years. In late January 1959, a group of 10 experienced Russian hikers, mostly students from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, set out on an expedition to the Ural Mountain in the northern Ural Mountains. The leader, Igor Dyatlov, was a seasoned trekker, and the team was well prepared for the harsh Siberian winter. One member, Yuri Yudin, had to turn back early due to illness. This decision, though disappointing at the time, would ultimately save his life. The remaining 97 men and 2 women continued their journey, expecting to return and send a telegram by February 12th, but they never did. When weeks passed with no word, a search party was sent out. On February 26th, they found the group's abandoned tent on the slopes of Kolatsia, a mountain whose name ominously translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mainsi language. What they discovered was deeply disturbing. The tent had been cut open from the inside, and all the group's belongings, including their shoes and warm clothing, were left behind. It was as if they had fled in a panic into the brutal -30°C weather, wearing little more than their sleeping clothes. The search party followed a set of footprints leading down the slope towards a nearby forest. About a mile away, under a large cedar tree, they found the first 2 bodies, those of Yuri Krivonychenko and Yuri Dor. They were barefoot and dressed only in their underwear. The branches of the cedar tree were broken up to 5 meters high, suggesting someone had tried to climb it, perhaps to get a better view or escape something. 3 more bodies were found between the cedar tree and the tent: Dyatlov, Zina Kolmogorova, and Rustam Slobodin. Their positions suggested they were trying to crawl back to the camp. The cause of death for these first 5 was determined to be hypothermia. Nothing seemed too unusual yet, just a tragic hiking accident, but the real horror was yet to come. It took another 2 months for the remaining 4 hikers to be found. They were discovered in a ravine, buried under 4 meters of snow, about 75 meters away from the cedar tree, and their injuries were horrific. Lyudmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov had massive chest fractures, the kind of force you'd expect from a high-speed car crash. Nikolai Thibobrignol had a major skull fracture, and Alexander Kalivatov was found with them. Incredibly, despite these fatal internal injuries, there were no external wounds, no soft tissue damage. It was as if they had been crushed by an immense, unseen pressure. To make things even stranger, Lyudmila Dubinina was missing her tongue, eyes, and part of her lips. The official investigation was baffling. There were no signs of other people or a struggle. Some of the hikers' clothing was found to be radioactive. Eyewitnesses in another part of the region reported seeing strange orange spheres, or UFOs, in the sky on the night of the incident. The final verdict from the Soviet investigators was that the hikers died from a compelling natural force. The case was abruptly closed and the files were classified for decades. Over the years, theories have ranged from an avalanche, to a secret military weapons test, to an infrasound-induced panic, and even an attack by an unknown creature, like a Yeti. The avalanche theory seems plausible, but it doesn't explain the strange injuries, the radiation, or why they would run downhill, away from the relative safety of the tent. A recent computer simulation suggested a specific type of slab avalanche could have been the cause, but it still leaves many questions unanswered. What made 9 experienced hikers cut their way out of their tent and run into a deadly winter night without proper clothing? What caused those crushing, internal injuries with no external signs of a fight? And what about the missing tongue and the radioactive clothing? To this day, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most terrifying and unresolved mysteries of the 20th century, a true January horror story that proves fact can be far more disturbing than fiction. Thanks for watching. If you have your own theory about what happened, leave it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more true mysteries. Stay safe out there.